Yo, RX back with the first pay-per-view breakdown of 2022. At one point last week, this card looked like it was a shit show, and then the UFC kind of reeled it back in a way. So that's good. Always very good. Wish I would have rebooked Alexa Grasso for this card, but you know it is what it is. She's booked for the Columbus card, so all good. Yeah, this card looks very good. Main card has a couple questionable fights on it, and the prelims are actually very strong. So I'm excited. Who isn't excited? And yeah, not much more to say than I'm excited. And obviously, before I start this breakdown, because you know I don't like to do long intros, please comment, like, dislike if you want, because in my last video I got one of my first few dislikes, which good, thank you, because thanks for the view. I'm gonna give everyone a secret. If you don't want to help a video, not watching it is the best way, because if you just click on it to dislike it, you're still giving a view. So thanks for dislike, man. Thanks for the view. But like I said, sub, all that shit. 100 goal end of the year, let's do it. But as always, no long intros. Let's get into this breakdown. We start off the night with a really good fight, and a name I suck at pronouncing, because when do I ever not suck at pronouncing names? Jasmine Jazjudavovich, I'll go home, versus K. Hansen. Very good fight. Very good fight. I guess I should, well, fuck it, I'm gonna start with the red corner, which is Jasmine, not saying her last name. Jasmine is coming off the Contender Series about 5 months ago, 3 months ago. If I remember that fight, she didn't look too bad. I'm trying to remember, she looked aight. She looked aight. Yeah, she didn't look good. Fuck English. She didn't look overly great. She looked fine. And of course she got the contract because, fuck it, we need female fighters. But she looked good. She looked like she should get a shot. And now she's here. Opening the first pay-per-view of the year. So, pretty big step. Opening Contender Series to opening the first card of the year. Not bad. Yeah. The main fight people have brought up with Jasmine during this week have been her fight against Elise Reed. I guess, from what I heard, she just got taken down and wrecked. And I guess because I don't do tape study, because I don't have time or fucks to do that. I get to listen to other people's smarter breakdowns, like Jedi and Gambling Addict, who I'll probably link in the top right. Probably, I don't know. Don't fucking quote me on that. But, yeah, I guess in that fight against Elise Reed, she got wrestle-fucked, which, losing to Elise Reed ain't that good. Getting wrestle-fucked by Elise Reed is even worse. And now fighting a grappler in K. Hansen, that's pretty bad. Jasmine is 32, which is up there on the wrong side of 30. But she's still, I guess if you want to say fight young. I really don't know. I don't even think 32 is that old, normal age, so yeah. And then her 10-year younger opponent, K. Anson. K's, what, I think 1-1 in the UFC? I think, yeah, 1-1. Come from Invicta. And I have no idea how he did in Invicta. But in her first UFC fight, had a decent performance versus Jinyu Fry, and there's not really much to write home about Jinyu Fry. And then got beat by Corey McKenna in a fight that I've heard people say was a robbery. I remember it being a good fight. I don't know if I would say robbery, but I remember being a good fight. And now she's here opening the main card again. She would have back-to-back fight nights, and now she's here. not much to say about these two fighters. They've only had combined in the UFC 2 fights, both come from K, and Jasmine and I. Not much work to go off of. K is 22, which, if I'm correct, one of the youngest fighters on the roster with Chase Hooper, and maybe and Corey McKenna, who I think is 20, I think. So she's one of the younger fighters on the roster, 10 years younger than Jasmine, which could play a factor. I don't know, could. Most of the time it doesn't. At least with the 20s and 30s. When you start in that mid 30s, I think it's when it start playing a factor. But right now I don't think it means much. But yeah, now we gotta talk about these insane betting lines. K. Anson minus 255. Trust me, I like K. Anson. I think she's cool. She's cool. She ain't no minus 255 to plus 205. People are really thinking K is just gonna wrestle fuck her like Elite 3 did, which is the way to win this fight if you're K. Anson, but I don't know. I think you're putting a lot of hope into one single game plan that you don't even know that's her game plan. So I think it's kind of crazy. I would probably have K as the favorite by a little. I would probably have her like minus 150 to plus 140. I think she should definitely be the favorite, but not by 255. And yes, I am picking K. I think she will. I think she will be the smarter fighter here and do what she has to do. Well, actually, no, not even saying Jasmine's not gonna fight smart. She's gonna fight smart. But can she stop takedowns? That's the big concern. If she can't stop takedowns, she might get her arm ripped off. K. Anson knows how to do that fucking armbar. Again, Jinyu Fry fight, which was a really good fight. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Mid breakdown, really good RX. No, I think this is a really good fight. I think it comes down to if K uses the right game plan, she'll win. If Jasmine can either A, stop takedowns, or B, K does not do the fucking English. If K does not do the right game plan, I think it's Jasmine's fight. So I think, not saying the coin flip, but like I said, I think K should be a small favorite. But again, 255. God damn, bro. That's pushing it. Badly pushing it. So I'm going Anson, probably by decision. I could 100% see a submission later or even early in the fight. If she gets to the ground, she will look for that submission. So I won't be shocked if it's a submission, but my scapegoat answer is decision. So K. Anson by decision. I'm hyped. I'm very hyped for that fight. And I'm happy it's opening the card. I am. Because it's a fun way to open the card. As we have more Contender Series fighters. Matt, not Contender Series fighter. Matt Dreamrola Frivola. Fucking stupid. Versus Genaro El Ronaldo Valdez. What am I saying? Where do I start? Well, why do I always ask that? Of course, I'm gonna start with the red corner. Matt Frivola, been in the UFC for a minute. On a 2-fight skid right now, which ain't great. Getting beat by Arman Trasukian and Terrence McKinney, both not terrible losses. For that, beating Luis Pena, Jalen Turner, really good win. And in a brawl with Lando Venata. We know what Matt is in there to do. He's in there to brawl, and either he's dropping, you're dropping, or we're going to do an insane decision. Actually, never mind. I'm a fucking idiot. Matt Frivola is a Contender Series guy, so forget what I said. But no, Matt. We all know Matt's game plan is go in there and brawl, and it works sometimes, and then sometimes it just doesn't work. In his last couple fights, it's not been well. Against Arman, you're not brawling with Arman. Arman's wrestling you. And then for the Terrence McKinney fight, he just got hit with the cleanest 1-2 you'll ever see. It's hard to get mad at that. He had little analyst round. Did he really have any time to prepare for that? No. So I'll play devil's advocate a little bit. It's hard. I think a lot of fighters would have been dropped by that 8-second 1-2. So we like the Madsen Nerdabro, and I think he has the perfect dance partner in General Valdez. I'll just say Valdez. First, he's a training partner of the champ, Brandon Moreno, and he's Mexican, and you know those motherfuckers love to go crazy in there. Coming off a nice Contender Series win a couple months ago, getting the finish in the second. Yeah, Mexico, man, getting a bunch of names in the UFC last couple years. And this is one of the two training partners of Brandon Moreno on the prelims, let alone on the card. And both fucking Englishman. This is a great matchmaking by the UFC. Two guys who you know are gonna go in there and brawl, and see who drops first. Honestly, this one probably should be the opening the card, because two crazy guys going in there fighting will keep will open the card nice, but it's a good second fight on the card. And not much there. Frivola, we all know, and Valdez won literally no fights in the UFC. Contender Series really doesn't count. But now we gotta talk about even more insane betting odds. -200 Matt Frivola to +170. What? Nah, bro. Nah. Just nah. Why? How? And why? I don't get these betting odds at all. If you want to say Frivola a favorite, then you do in -120. And even that's pushing it. I don't see why Frivola is a -200 favorite, let alone the favorite. Yeah, he's a veteran, yeah, yada yada yada. You can throw all the bullshit in the book. But let's be honest, why is he -200? He got his clock cleaned in his last fight, and he fought Ironman, which didn't get mad at that loss. Come on. If you honestly ask me for my betting odds for this, I might flip him. I would probably have Valdez around 200. Now, I'll have Valdez at 190. Not quite 200, but right on the number. Right on the cusp of 200. And with that being said, I think you can tell who I'm picking. Of course, I'm picking Genaro Valdez. I think he'll just clip Frivola early and throw him to the shadow realm like McKinney did. No offense for Frivola, but I don't think he's that good. His chin is very questionable at times, and I think Valdez is gonna find the weak spot in that chin and win. So yeah, I'm going my first dog of the night, Valdez by knockout in the first. Viva la Mexico, Holmes. I think Mexico's gonna excuse me. I think Mexico's gonna have a good night. A very good night. Valdez finish in the first. And I don't talk about this enough in my breakdowns, how confident I'm in my picks. In K, I'm about 50%. In Valdez, I'm pretty confident. So, not much else to say about those two opening fights. Next fight on the card, a fight that should have been happening last week, I believe. And this is the first time I'm breaking it down. I've watched people break it down twice now. But Vanessa Little Monster Demopoulos versus Silviana Gomez. I'm not saying those other names or words because I don't speak that language and I'm not gonna fuck them up. Yeah, like I said, this fight was supposed to be happening last week, but I think Silviana had COVID protocol bullshit. So Oh no, I guess it just got rescheduled. What the fuck do I know? But of course, let's talk about Vanessa first. This is her second fight in the UFC after coming in on short notice versus JJ Aldrich and getting whooped. She was on Contender Series and did lose to Corey McKenna, so not too bad losses in the UFC. And she was supposed to fight Ashley Yoder, and then Silviana stepped in. Then I got moved here. I think Vanessa had shown against JJ a very good heart in the cage, because she was getting whooped. Like, honestly, Aldrich should have probably got a bonus for how badly she was beating Vanessa. Like, I honestly consider giving Aldrich a bonus. And now she will have a full camp, which she did not have for the fight with JJ, which a real camp might actually be fucking useful. Oh damn, she's on Columbus, Ohio, bet. Oh yeah, full camp is gonna be fucking useful. Yeah, no, again, with these early fights on this card, you know, a lot of the prelims, I got a lot of Contender Series youngins. There's not much to go off of, and I'm not doing tape study because fuck you. But Vanessa, heart. She didn't show much skill against Aldridge, but she showed heart. And then for Silviana, she also her second UFC fight after coming in on short notice. She was supposed to be on the Contender Series, but she got signed by the UFC to fight Lupi Godinez before then. Yeah, because she booked for Contender Series on the 12th, got signed by UFC to fight Lupi Godinez, and that fight didn't end well. She got subbed pretty quickly in round 1. Good job for stepping in, but not shocking that you lost. So we've not got to see much of Silviana. And the big thing you'll notice of her when you look at her stats and bio and all that, she's 37 years old. She's probably with Roxanne Modafferi for one of the older women in the UFC at the moment. 37? Fuck. Yeah, remember what I was talking about earlier with age and all that? This is when age actually might play a factor. So, and to go back on what I said earlier, I think Silviana is the other training partner of Brandon Moreno, so not bad training partners to have, but I don't think that's gonna help you. I've had the same pick the whole time this fight's been booked. It's not changing. The betting odds have Vanessa coming in minus 140 to plus 110. Honestly, I might put Vanessa around minus 160, 170. I think she'd be a little bigger of a favorite, to be honest. Because I think Silviana, no disrespect to Silviana, but being 37, and let's be honest, who is she really that good? And plus, I think Vanessa is just better. From the little I've seen of both of these two, I think I can clearly say one is better than the other. So, I'm going Vanessa Demopoulos by decision. I think she's just better. Like, no offense to Silviana, but no, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing anything. You've not impressed me as much as Demopoulos, so going with Vanessa by decision. I'm pretty confident, to be honest with you. I'm not too worried, because I highly doubt Vanessa's gonna get dropped, so it's either lose by decision or lose by decision. So, Vanessa, decision. After that, the last early prelim of the card, because they split into 3 parts of the card is Tony Gravely versus Salman Oliveira. Very interesting fight here. Gravely is coming off a loss to Nate Maness where he got badly dropped. Before then, he's been in UFC for a couple fights. Lost to Brett Johnson in his debut, beat 2 nobodies. and then got flatlined by Manis. To be honest, I've not been very impressed with Tony Gravely in DOC career so far. Yeah, he had that one good knockout, but then he got knocked out. That they countered each other pretty badly, I think. Yeah, I've never even, cause I remember after the knockout, people were like, "Oh, this guy looks good." He really didn't impress me. He never really did. to keep it 100 with you, he really never. I was never like, "Oh yeah, he's good." I think Gravely's fine, but if you honestly ask me if he's UFC level, hell no. No, not really. Like, I think he's good to have around, but should he really be in the UFC? Probably not. Well, you can say that with so many fighters, so it really doesn't matter what I say. Because you can say that with so many fighters. So, I think Gravely's fine, but I don't think much of him. And then for Oliveira, another Contender Series guy. Yeah, this card really like their Contender Series youngins. I really don't remember his fight in Contender Series, but I remember it was good. That's all I remember about it, which is a very good thing to remember of someone's fight, that at least it was good. There's a lot more than you can say for most people. Yeah, not much to go off of because one fight, and well, I barely remember it, but I remember it was good. He's Brazilian and has the name Oliveira. You can kind of guess what kind of fighter he is. That might be coming off wrong, but you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, Brazilian, Oliveira, grappler. Yeah, I can't really talk much about Oliveira because literally one fight. Not even if you want to count Contender Series, one fight. So, the only thing we need to talk about now is these betting odds. Tony Gravely minus 250. No. Honestly, no. No. I think Gravely should be the favorite, but not by much. I would say minus 140 plus 115. I don't see, this card really is weird. This card has very questionable betting odds this entire card. I don't think Gravely should be touching 250 to be honest with you, but whatever. I'm not betting on him. I don't make bets. Oh, if anything, I would tell you to bet on Oliveira because yes, I'm going with Oliveira. I think he can use his wrestling, tire out Gravely. I could see a late submission, but I am gonna go decision. Yeah, not much to say. I think Gravely's good, but I think Oliveira might be better. Well, but we'll see Saturday night. I could be completely wrong, knowing me. I probably am, but that's why we watch these fights, to see if we're right or wrong on our predictions. So I'm going Simon Oliveira by decision. Second big dog for some reason pick for the night. So those are the early prelims, very good early prelims, and now we move on to the regular prelims, which starts off with a banger. The debuting, hyped as fuck, Jack Della Maddalena versus Pete Dead Game Rodriguez. I'm not gonna waste much time in this one, because first, not much to talk about in their careers, let alone not much to talk about. Jack Della is coming off Contender Series. He looked good. He looked good. He got the dub. He didn't get the knockout, but he still got the contract with a decision, which is not often. You see that, but what happens sometimes. He looked good. Not much to say. He looked good. I definitely think he earned the contract with his performance. And now he was here. He was supposed to be fighting Wesley Alves, but that got scrapped a couple weeks ago, and now this guy, Pete Rodriguez, steps in. Who is Pete Rodriguez? I honestly can't fucking tell you. Fuck if I know. 4-0 in MMA, it says. Yeah. I think you know where I'm going with this. Jack is minus 300 to plus 240. To be honest, I think that might be disrespectful. I might throw JDM up to 4 to 5. I think, honestly, I think they'll run through this Rodriguez kid. No offense, but I think they'll run through him. And with that being said, I'm going Jack Della by knockout in the first, and probably my lock of the card. What else do you want me to say? The UFC did this on purpose. They probably could have got a better fighter in here with JDM, but they picked this nobody. So, Jack Della knockout in the first, my lock, and I highly, highly, highly doubt anyone else is picking Pete Rodriguez. So, JDM finish in the first. After that, we got the last contender series guy on this prelims. Oh Lord. Michael Morales versus Trevin the Problem Giles. I'll start with the younger contender series guy, Michael Morales. Like I just said, he's coming off contender series just like everyone else on this fucking card. Undefeated, which I think he might be him and Thorough might be the only undefeated guys on the card, unless I'm stupid. Oh no, him, Thorough, and Lil Tapuya are the only undefeated fighters on this card. Michael is the earliest one to fight, coming off a decision win. He looked good. He looked very good, if I can remember correctly. And yeah, not much more to say. I can't say much. I only can stretch this out I only can stretch this out as much as I can. So yeah, Morales looked good. But Trevin, on the other hand, we all know Trevin Jaws by now. He's been in the UFC for a minute. In his last fight, getting flatlined by Duplessis. Before that, getting a robbery win against Roman DeLidze. He beat Lewis, James Krause, lost to GM3, etc., etc. He's been in the UFC for a minute. He does not beat top level guys. Duplessis, GM3, Roman DeLidze. He ain't winning these top guy fight or tougher competition fights, I should say. But he'll beat a Devon Lewis or someone like that. Bad thing for him, Michael Morales does not seem like a Devon Lewis. He seems like an actual good fighter. Which for Giles and his weak chin ain't good. Morales is minus 145. I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. Even though I might, nah. Actually, I'd keep him there. Cause Giles is a vet, and you don't know about Morales yet. He's still. It's gonna be interesting to see how this one plays out. But I do think Morales should be the vet. And with that being said, I am picking Michael Morales. I could see him winning him really anyway. A knockout, a sub, a decision. I'm going decision. Wow, really fucking creative, RX. Yeah, I'm going Michael Morales by decision. I'm pretty confident. Nah, I'm confident. I won't say pretty confident, but I'm confident. You know what I mean. So, Michael Morales, decision. And now, fucking finally, we don't have a contender series, motherfucker. Hani Barcelos versus Victor La Monksta Henry. Might not be contender series guy, but this matchmaking makes no sense in the slightest. They've rebooked this fight now. The third time they've booked it. Why? I get they want to get Victor Henry in the UFC, but why against Ronnie? Barcelos shouldn't be fighting a way way bigger name. He should be fighting a topper. That's terrible wording. A more a bigger guy at bantamweight, not fucking Victor Henry. He should be fighting the Martin Moraeses and the Rafael Santos, who he's booked against the Santos. Actually, he had like four big fights canceled. Yeah, Marab, Cody Stamen, Rafael Santos, Trevin Jones, Nurmagomedov at one point got canceled or rebooked. So he's had a lot of fights canceled and rebooked. But in his last fight, the hype train got fucking derailed badly by Timur Valdez. And now honestly, Ronnie's become more of a meme than anything. People were like, people really thought this 34-year-old was going to be a big name. I think Hani is very good, but God, have people really sucked his dick at times. After that Taha fight, people were like, oh, him against Pure, him against O'Malley, him against It's like, relax. The second a guy wins a fight against fucking Khalil Taha, you don't need to fucking explode, damn. And for Victor Henry, I don't know much about. I know he's good. I've heard he's pretty good. 25-1, pretty good record. Also 34. He got a very good record. Not much else to say. Too bad. I think this matchmaking is really stupid. But what do I know? Maybe UFC knows something I don't. But yeah, I'm not wasting much. I'm not rushing through these this fight and the last one. Just what else do you want me to say? What do you want me to make shit up as I go? I do that enough. The betting odds, minus 420, nice. For Ronnie Barcelos to plus 320. Sure. I think Ronnie's gonna win. I don't think he should be 400 plus favorite, but I would say more like 300. 250-ish, I think I'd be more okay with, but either way, I think he's gonna win, and I think he's gonna win by decision. I think Hani's really good. He shouldn't be fighting someone better than Victor. It's all I'm gonna say. So, Barcelos decision, not much else to say. Did I ever break this fight down once? I swear I did. I swear I did, but I swear I broke this fight down once. Tapology running like a bitch right now. I know on Tapology I put the pick in, but the fight got canned the day of the fight. Yeah, I did fucking break this down. It was on the whatchamacall. Fucking Louis Dawkins card. I did break this fight down. God damn it. Yeah. So, either you can Ryan Barcelos decision. I probably said the same shit in this video that I said in the last one. So, not much else to say. Now the amazing featured prelim that should be on the main card. Alil El Matador Tapuya versus Charles R. Jourdain. I fucking love this fight. This is better than the Evloyev fight, if you honestly ask me. I know 13-0 versus 11-0 sounds a lot better than 11-0 against 12-4-1. But style-wise, this is great. Because these two motherfuckers, if Tapuya fights like a man, is gonna go out there and fight. And I am so hype. I am so fucking hyped for this. This fight did come about with Mansour Evloyev stepping out because I think injury or COVID, something like that. And Charles Jourdain's crazy ass was like, I'll fight. And now this is booked. What the fuck? Charles Jourdain is a real gangster. I don't want anyone to hate Air Jourdain. Cool dude outside the cage, cool dude in the cage. Who doesn't love Air Jourdain? But we gotta talk about El Matador, El Tapuya first. Has looked very good in his first 3 UFC fights, beating You Sucks the Lost, crushing Damon Jackson, and knocking out Ryan Hall. Not bad wins to start your career. And then Evloev, again, that fight would have been sick. But everything happens for a reason. Maybe this happened for a reason. I don't know the reason, but I don't know. That fight would have been insane. But now we got a better fight. Is easily probably. He might be the best. Well, he's ranked now, so it's kind of hard to call him a prospect. But either way, he's one of the better young up-and-comers in that division. Only literally 25 as of the time I'm recording this, so happy birthday. But he looks like a murderer. 2 knockout wins and a decision. He looked good. And then for Jourdain, I don't need to break down Jourdain. Really, you should go rewatch his fights, all of them, in the UFC, because God, is he fucking amazing to watch. In his last fight, a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, sorry, he crushed Andre Ewell. Not a great win, but it is what it is. He did lose to Juicy J. Erosa. Erosa was so much bigger than him. Beat Rojo, beat Duo Choi, lost to Andre Feely. He's been up and down. Go rewatch his UFC fights. He only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Go rewatch them all. They're fun. He's a fun fighter. So, he's fun. If you can't tell, I'm real excited with fight. I'll speak English one day, I swear. Nah, I'm hyped for this fight. The betting odds are fucking insane, though. Minus 530 for Lo Topuria to plus 390. I get it. I think Topuria's gonna win. Wink. But I'm sorry, he should not be 530. Even with, if he goes to wrestling game plan, which will probably, if he is smart, he will. But even in that, I would still have him 300. Because Jourdain, what people don't know, I feel like people don't. I think people look at Jourdain, or looking at Jourdain as this, the joke fighter who just likes to have fun and doesn't care. And they look at Lil as this, good prospect. Just think it's stupid. Jourdain's great. We all know Jourdain's great. He's just been very inconsistent. If Jourdain can get on a consistent level, he easily could. I'm not saying a top ranked guy or champion, but he could be in that division for years. Guy's 26. He's extremely young. So I think people are very disrespecting Jourdain. And with that being said, this might already be my worst pick of 2022. But my bias, it has to fucking show. I'm going Charles Jourdain by decision. I'm biased. Keep that in mind. I don't actually think he's gonna win. I'm biased. So, I think English. I think Topuria's gonna win. Trust me, I really do. But I'm gotta go biasedly. Charles Jourdain. That's it. But if Jourdain wins, then it was not biased. I knew it. But if Jourdain does not win, which he probably won't, I was biased. So that is the prelims over. Something I want to get to before I get to the main card. A lot of the canceled fights off this card. Greg Hardy, Alexei Olenek, Greg Hardy, Spivak, Evloev, and Topuria. I talked about Wesley Alves, Alexa Grasso, hurt my soul. So just a couple of the fights that were taken off the card, which really hurt my soul, that last one. But it is what it is. Now we got this main card, which, God, does it start fucking awfully. That's a word. And I say it starts awfully, again, definitely a word. God, 39 minutes. Because we start with a shit fight. We're Dolpha Vieira versus Wellington Turman. Why is this on the main card over Lil and Jourdain? Why? This fight sucks. This fight really sucks. We got the captain of gassing, Rodolfo, the black belt hunter, sorry. Vieira versus a guy who really almost lost to Sam Alvey. So, I don't want to talk about this fight much. We all know Vieira gassing against Fluffy, coming back, beating Dustin Stoltzfus or whatever his name was. Looked good. He actually did look pretty good. I won't lie. Vieira did look good in that Dustin Stoltzfus in his last fight. He looked more mature, I guess would be the word I would use. He looked a lot more mature. I'm just looking at the record. Yeah, I think Rodolfo with maturity could not be that bad. And for Turman, I think he's a lost cause. He ain't good. I'm not even gonna go into his record. He ain't good. He has no chin. He ain't good. He has, in my opinion, he has one win in the UFC in his last fucking 5. So I don't want to talk about this fight. It's terrible. Rodolfo is minus 285 to plus 220. And I think he's gonna get the dub, personally. How? Well, my voice will work one day, I swear. Like the video if you want my voice to work. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't want to pick either of these guys. I definitely am picking garbage Wellington Turman. Why is he even in the UFC? Yeah, I'm going with Rodolfo Vieira. Not much more to say on that. I'm going Rodolfo by probably. He sucks so bad, and it would just make sense for this fight to suck badly. So I'll go decision. Yeah, I'll go Rodolfo Vieira decision. After that, actual decent fight. It wasn't high on a main card of a pay-per-view. Cody Spartan Stamen versus Said Nurmagomedov. Obviously start with the name people recognize more. Stamen. He's alright. He's a lamer Merab Dvalishvili who he fought in his last fight and got crushed by. He's just wrestling pretty much. He's not a good striker. He beat Brian Keller, Song Jourdain. Oh no, he didn't beat Song Jourdain. Draw. Beat Keller, Brian Caraway. Why did this guy ranked ranked so high? Ain't good. Lost to Aljo. Like I don't think Cody Stamen's that good. I never did. To be honest, I really don't think he's that good. And I like how he tries to talk shit to Sean O'Malley. Like, dude, Sean O'Malley would end your career. So, not much to say about Cody. He's Rob really without the chin, or talent, or heart. So, and let's talk about his opponent. Said Nurmagomedov. People will see the Nurmagomedov name and think, oh, that we're having a wrestling match. Which, you are. But at the same time, this guy can actually strike. He's unlike his cousin and brother, father, who was Khabib to him. He ain't undefeated, but he only had one loss in the UFC. Kind of like Khabib. He already had a good win. Ricardo Ramos, Justin Skogrins, like not great wins. It's easily the biggest step up in competition, which is very good to see. Getting a step up in competition. I think this step up ain't gonna be a roadblock. I think this is gonna be a step up into the rankings for Said. He is minus 205 to plus 175. I agree. I think he should be around there. I think he's just better. He's probably as good of a grappler, if not better, and he's way better striker. So I'm going Said Nurmagomedov by decision. Wow, I really do only pick decisions. Yeah, I'm going Said by decision. I easily could see a finish, but it's too hard to predict a finish, you know. So Said by decision. I'm not rushing through these, just don't know what to talk about at this point. And we're 45 minutes in almost. I want this video to go much longer. The next fight on the card, the crazy man Michel Preheat versus Andre Fialo. This is a fun fight, just because mainly it's fucking Michel Pereira. Of course, it's a fun fight, but No, that's the main reason. Actually, I don't need to talk about Michel Pereira much. Who doesn't know Michel Pereira? Crazy motherfucker. Would do flips in the cage, out of the cage, during the fight, before the fight. He's a crazy motherfucker. You know, in his last fight against Nico Price, he did fight very smart. He fought a lot smarter than he usually does, which is very good to see. And against Chaos, in a way, he fought a lot smarter. But you can see in the Diego and the fight and Conley fight, which was such a bad performance, you can see he's not the brightest. But he it's always good when you can look at a fighter and say they've got better. If you can't look at a fighter and say they've got better, then you're that's really bad. I wouldn't want to hear that if I'm fucking picking a fighter, or if I was a fighter, I wouldn't want to hear that. But we can all definitely say he's got better. And by the way, the only reason Andre is in this fight because Muslim Salikov pulled out last week, so Andre stepped in, but they moved the fight from last week's card to this week. So now to talk about the James Vick killer, Andre, yeah, he beat James Vick. Main reason people know him. He retired James Vick. I don't know how much of an accomplishment that is, but to less their own, I guess. I don't know. I don't know much about him. He likes to strike. I know that with the stats, but I look like he always wins. He fought Vandal. Yeah, let's be honest, he's kind of fucking, this is kind of this and the P. Rodriguez fight kind of like, sacrifice them to the actual fighters people care about. Because let's be honest, the only way Andre's winning this fight is if he clips Michel early. Because if he doesn't, Michel's gonna win easily. So, I'm going Michel Pereira by decision. He is minus 300. I agree. Yeah, not much to say. These first three main card fights are either not much to say, or they suck like the opener. So Michel Pereira decision. Now I don't even want to say I'm rushing through these. What do you want me to say? These last three fights suck. But now we actually get into some juicy business. The co-main event of the evening. Brandon the Assassin Baby Moreno versus Davison the God of War Fiorito 3. Shit, here we go again. We're back for the last chapter of this story. Who's taking the book home? The belt, the book, either way. I got to start with the champ, Brandon Moreno. Guy got cut from the UFC early in his career, came back with fucking vengeance. He came back with motherfucking vengeance, and he's one of the best feel-good stories in MMA. Good for him, man. Very good for him. Came back, won some fights, lost to Pantoja, but then he went on this nice streak. Royval, who else did he beat? Formiga, KKF, came back with vengeance, and then he had to draw with Figgy. He looked good, but he didn't look like champion. But in the rematch, he looked like champion. In the rematch against Figgy, which I'll talk about Figgy in a minute, but in the rematch against Figgy, that was a complete shutout. That was not even really a fight. To be honest with you, that was not even a fight. That was a beating. And Figgy can make any excuse he wants. He made plain today at the press conference, which, by the way, was fucking awful. But, you know, it is what it is. But Moreno, champion, one of the feel-good stories of 2021. Brandon Moreno, the motherfucker you can't hate. If you're a Figgy fan, you don't hate him. If you hate Figgy, you love Moreno. Even if you don't care for this fight where either guy, you still love Brandon Moreno. So Brandon Moreno is just that good ass motherfucking dude. He just screams NMF. He's Mexican Wonder Boy. So, but now we gotta talk about the former champion, Davison Figueiredo. Figgy, we all know, was on a complete hot streak. Pantoja Elliott murdering Joseph Benavidez twice. Easy title defense against Alex Perez. And then he ran into the wall named Brandon Moreno. Wow. Wow. And like I said in the talking about Moreno, the first fight did go to a draw. Amazing fight. I forget, it was like an eye poke or some shit. Took a point away and made it a draw. But then Figgy just looked drained in the rematch, which, by the way, you can use the excuse, Figgy's drained, that's why he lost. It's his fucking fault for fighting at flyweight. Motherfucker should be at bantamweight. He's killing himself to make flyweight every time out. So it can't get mad at fucking Brandon for capitalizing on it. It's his fault for fighting at fucking fighting at flyweight for no reason. It's so annoying. If he loses this fight, he has to go up to bantamweight, I think. But that's beside the point. That's for the recap, depending on what happens. But we've watched these two go at it. What, for 8 rounds? Because the sub was in the 3rd, if I'm correct, right? Has been almost 8 rounds. Yeah, 7.5 rounds. And now we get to see him go at it for at most 5 more. Will they need those 5 minutes? I don't. Those 25 minutes? I don't know. But we'll see on Saturday night. And what do I think is gonna happen? Well, obviously, we gotta talk about the betting odds. Brandon coming in minus 180 plus 150. Yeah, I think you'd be a slight favorite. Yeah. Because you don't know, Figgy's so hard to predict. It's really hard to trust Figueiredo. You don't know if he's going to come in drained, even though he always does. And you don't know if he's going to be all there mentally. He seems like a really weird dude, to say the least, so. I'm saying and still. I think Brandon has Figgy's number. Figgy's great. Figgy's definitely great. No disputing it. But I think Moreno has Figgy's number. And with that being said, I'm going Brandon Moreno by decision, just because I can't pick a finish for this fight. It's so difficult to predict. So I'm going Brandon Moreno by decision, and still, Viva la Mexico. I'm hyped. And then he needs to fight either Oscar or Pantoja. You know, I think there should be Oscar Askarov and not Davison Figueiredo. So that's what I think. Don't matter. So, and still decision, Brandon Moreno. And now the main event of the evening: Francis the Predator Ngannou versus Cyril Bangama Gan. Of course, we start with the champ, Francis Ngannou. Francis, we all know Francis. I don't need to explain Francis Ngannou to you. Murderer, met Stipe Miocic, lost, met Derek Lewis, was gun-shy, went on another murder spree, and it's on that murder spree right now. Killing Curtis Blades again, Cain Velasquez, JDS, Jorginho, Stipe. Now he's here with Bangama, his old training partner. 1 shot, 1 kill. This fight is hyped up as power versus technique. Power will beat technique every fucking time. But we gotta talk about the technique in Cyril Gun. Easily the greatest heavyweight we've ever seen when it comes to movement and fight IQ and this and that. Hands down, no disputing it. He's had how many fights? A lot. Dontel Mays, some Rafael guys, Bozer, JDS, Jorginho, Volkov, and Lewis. I want to shed a light on the last 4. JDS, Rosenstrike, Volkov, and Lewis. Gane's biggest problem is he waits for his opponent to do something before he does something. And but that's JDS right. JDS right, he just wrecked him. But after that, Jorginho, he literally just danced around him for 25 minutes. Volkov, he waited for Volkov to do something before he struck. Lewis, same thing. He waited for Lewis to do something. Actually, no, he just waited for Lewis to step to him, and then he attacked. The biggest thing in this one, Francis Ngannou most likely will not let Cyril dance around and get a decision win. He will go in there trying to win. He ain't like Jorginho. He ain't gonna stand there. He ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna let you kick him. He ain't gonna let you do all this to him. And that's the biggest question coming into this fight. How will Cyril deal with pressure? We have not really seen Cyril's power. Also, he beat JDS, but that was with an elbow. Of course, an elbow is gonna be powerful. But he doesn't finish guys. I think he has one knockout, one submission, decisions. No, sorry, 2 knockouts. I forgot to lose fight with a finish. Weak finish where he poked him in the belly. So, we've not really seen Cyril's power. But from what they talk about the press, Francis knocked Cyril out in training and sparring. So, that might say a lot. Now we talk about these betting odds. Plus 125, the champion, minus 150. Cyril Gane. That's absurd. The champion should not be the underdog. The last time the champion was the underdog was Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. You saw what happened. So, I would say 115 apiece, personally. I think this fight can go so many ways, but the way I think it's going, and I'm sorry all you Gane dick riders, Francis Ngannou, I'm still UFC heavyweight champion of the world. And I think he's gonna one shot, one kill. I'm going Francis Ngannou, knockout in the first. Yes, Cyril can win this. Absolutely, there's no counting Cyril out. Not in the bit. Cyril's great. There's no disputing Cyril Gane's great. No disputing that. But how is he gonna deal with the pressure of Francis Ngannou? That's the biggest question. That's the question. That's the biggest fucking question. If he can deal with that pressure and counter, maybe take him down, then you got a completely different story on your hands. But if he can't do that, plus Francis is gonna be heavier than him, he might be fucked. But if Francis doesn't get that finish early, first, second round, Cyril might have this in the back. He might be able to dance around then. But in those first 2 rounds, Cyril better be washing his fucking chin. So, I'm going the Predator and still Francis Ngannou knockout in the first. I guarantee you, I'm one of the few that are picking Francis and Charles Jourdain. So, to recap my picks real quick, what are we at? 58 minutes? I love. Recap my picks: Anson, decision. Genro Valdez, knockout in the first. Vanessa Demopoulos, decision. Simon Oliveira, decision. Jack Della Maddalena, knockout in the first, lock of the night. Michael Morales, decision. Hani Barcelos, decision. Charles Jourdain, decision, completely biased. Rodolfo Vieira, decision. Stedner Magomedov, decision. Michel Pereira, decision. Brendan Moreno, decision. And Francis Ngannou, knockout in the first. Wow, from the Morales fight to the Moreno fight, it's all decisions. Wow, I really am good at this picking thing. So, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm fucking hyped for 270, and why would you not be also? So, yeah, those are my picks. Since the Cyril Gane dick riders are gonna be in my comments, if anyone actually watched these videos, but that's beside the point. Hope you enjoyed the video. You'll see me for a recap on Sunday. And I'll be my last video until not the following Friday, the Friday after, because there's a break. So you'll see me then. So yeah, not much to say. Tell me your picks down there, down below. Yeah, I'm excited. Not much more to say. So, with that being said, RX. Ow! One shot, one kill.